Hey guys, Sean here again. We're back. Part 4 of the accessory videos is we're going to be looking at the Skidoo full body skid plate for the Summit, specifically the G4 chassis. We're going to just take a look at what it comes with, what we need to install it. We're going to go through the steps of putting her on, where you got to take your upper module apart, take the pipe out. So we'll take a look at that stuff as we go. So to start off, this is the skid plate. Looks good, molded well. It's got all the pre-drilled holes in it. The underneath of the Skidoo, the belly pan that's already there has little pre-marked spots to drill it out. So when you get the skid plate, it comes just like this in a plain cardboard box with no advertisements, no nothing on it. You get this little section of cardboard covering the hardware that's included inside of here. That's pretty much how she comes. Now, the one thing you don't get, which I think is kind of strange, is you don't get the instructions in the box. They give you a little paper that tells you to go to brpinstructions.com, and I'm sure they got their reasons for doing that, but I mean really, just includes 3 pages, a page. All it is a picture and some fasteners, so in my opinion they should include that instead of screwing around trying to print it off. So we're going to get started. I'm going to take the blocks off of my Skidoo stand in the back so we can tilt the sled. I'm going to get the sled tilted so we can see a bit better. We're going to get my little mat that I like to work off of. Get that in here and go from there. Okay guys, we're going to get started removing the front clip. So we'll start by removing the factory windscreen. Pulls out rather easy. Underneath the lid of the glove box there's 2 Torx T25 bolts. They will release the dash panel. Once the dash panel is free, you can remove the glove box. It slides out of the 2 grooves on the front portion of the box. Once the box is pulled out, unplug your speedo. Remove the dash panel, then unplug both headlights, and there's a sensor down below, so the wiring can be tucked out of the way. There's 2 more Torx bolts at the bottom of the steering column. Zap those out. Side panels come off. There's a Torx bolt at the front of each side panel. 1 and 2. Then the hose clamp holding the air box to the throttle body assembly, I guess you could call it, disconnected. Then the whole front clip pulls off. Remove one of the sensors from the pipe. Exhaust guards. There's the 2 springs holding the pipe and can together. And then 3 more springs holding the pipe to the motor. Once those are out, the pipe can be removed. There's then a little plastic guard. You remove 1 bolt, that gives you access to the bolt holding the can in. Zip that bolt out, and then you can unplug the sensor in the can. Remove the can. Pretty simple. Okay guys, we've got the sled jacked up. It's in the right position that hopefully I could drill it as well as you guys can see what's going on. So first thing I'm going to do, I got all my tools here, 3/16 bit, rivet gun, skid plate, all my hardware is here on the ground in front of me. I got some tape as well because the instructions recommend to use an assistant to hold the pieces in place, but I don't have an assistant tonight, so this is going to be my assistant. And we'll start off. So the first thing it says to do is remove a retainer screw over underneath the primary clutch. So we'll do that. So this is a T25 Torx bolt. So let's remove, throw that out of the way. Next will be to start drilling some holes. So one nice thing Skidoo did is they marked out the holes that need to be drilled already, and the ones over here underneath, I guess right in front of your main cooler, it's already pre-drilled, those ones. So it's pretty nice. So all you gotta do is look at your skid plate, and you can see where the roughly where the holes are, and you can find the little tab, and then go ahead and drill them. Now it does recommend that when you drill them, to obviously don't go too deep, because you don't know how close you are to the So I got a couple holes in the back here. I got one up here that I can't find the mark, and one back here that I'm a little unsure of. So what I'm going to do is line up the skid plate with the holes I do have, and I'll just drill through the skid plate. Okay, so now the skid plate is in the correct position. My holes up here all line up. The ones in the belly line up. So I got a couple more I'm going to drill now that they're in place, but I'm going to put a couple rivets in first so things stay in position. So these 3/16 rivets install on the bottom, then you got a washer that goes inside, so you got plastic in between, washer on the back side. So I'm not going to pop it completely yet. I'll just give it one squeeze to hold it in place, just to make sure everything lines up. I'm going to put the retainer screw in the back here. So in the kit, they give you, it's all rivets. They also give you one screw, nut, and a washer. This is installed right underneath the primary clutch right here. So I'll have to take the guard off and get down there and install this one after. The 4 rivets that are installed under the belly right here, it's just a rivet. There's no washer on the inside. You can't get to it anyways, but that's an aluminum plate. So the only piece you're riveting to that actually has aluminum is these 4 here. The rest are all in plastic, and they need washers. So I'll go ahead, I'll install the 4 that are in the belly here. Get those done. I will say these are a good solid steel rivet. They're pretty hard to break. So I made a mistake earlier. I said that these were the only 4 that did not have washers on the back of them, and that they were the only ones in steel. There's actually one right here. When you drill it, the frame already has a hole in it, the aluminum part of the running board.